Welkom terug by die Groot Ontbyt. Ons gesels gaming vanmôre. Ja, gaming. Nee, media-aanbieder. Ons praat spesifiek oor Nintendo vanmôre. Ons praat oor wat spelletjies in Suid-Afrika doen, waar ons staan en waarheen ons gaan. Ons gesels met die sosiale media inhoudskepper Marco Cocomelo. Good morning, Marco.
Morning. Thanks for having me here today.
Lovely
with
having
Mario
you.
and Luigi.
And Mario and Luigi here this morning. Keeping us busy. It's great having them here. Marco, let's start with the state of gaming in South Africa. What is the industry like? I mean, compared to, say, the rest of the world in Europe and in Asia and the US?
I mean, it's a lot smaller. You'll be surprised how different the adoption rate is on consoles. You get a lot of people still playing on last generation consoles and even the previous generation of consoles, to be honest, because of the price of games and consoles are quite high. So, yeah. I mean, I find that a lot of people are still playing on PlayStation 4 and playing PlayStation 3. You'll be surprised. I mean, we talk about consoles that are like 10 plus years now. But, you know, the industry is, if you are gaming in SA, we do get everything relatively new on time. So it's not like, you know, it arrives in South Africa much later. We get product releases on time. We get new game releases on time. But the industry it's doing okay. I mean, it's also suffered from the recent, like, internationally, was a lot of studios that closed down this year. A lot of thousands of layoffs across the world as well. Because, I mean, there was like this boom during COVID where everybody was pumping out games, and now everybody is pushing timelines up. So games were like really coming out super fast. And now we've had like this sort of dip. And unfortunately, a lot of people internationally would like let go and they form their own studios. South Africa we're getting there in terms of the industry. I think it's exciting to be a gamer, but it's not as big as it is in like the United States and Europe and all that.
What opportunities exist for game developers in South Africa, and also what are some of the challenges you face?
I think, I mean, like I mentioned, the studio closures are a big thing, so that's also affected us. So it's more difficult than ever now to become a game developer in South Africa. A lot of people go the tried route of like the crowdfunding with Kickstarter, and that does very well. You know, and it's more people making games in like their free time, because it's not a full-time thing here. I mean, very few people are game developers like for a job. It's more just like they come home from their 9 to 5 and in their garage they're busy developing like their dream game sort of thing. I mean, there's a lot of places where they can showcase games. Africa Games Week is a big one that happens every year. It just happened in December. In early December. It's a really cool expo where publishers and corporations and investors come to the African continent to scout games and indie developers. So that's a nice place to kind of showcase your game if you are working on something locally.
Gaming is such a global economy, such a global trend, actually. What can we as South Africans do, if I'm interested in gaming design and programming? What can we do to become more competitive on an international level?
It's difficult because, you know, again, it's funding. Funding is a big thing. A game takes lots and lots of money to make. It's either somebody's years and lots of money. So I would love to see like a local government initiative. There's a lot of countries in the world that get government funding to help develop games, and usually it's like a state-funded thing. I mean, that would be really great if we can get the South African government to like put aside some money to help fund like a really cool studio and make like a good AAA game, because South Africa has yet to release like a world-known title that
uniquely South African title.
Exactly, and I think because everybody's chasing the trends of the same sort of indie game and all that stuff, it's kind of, and then they also play it safe. I mean, there's been really no real good African game that showcases like us as people and culture and all that stuff. It's very difficult. So I would love to see like a government-funded initiative to help, because there's so many writers and artists and developers in SA, but the funding is the issue.
And ultimately, when we get the funding, do you think it will contribute to the local economy?
I don't think it would contribute drastically to the economy, because again, like, you know, we in this age of digital era now. So game sales are all digital, and at the end of the day, already in South Africa, if you're playing a game on your phone and you're buying like an in-game purchase, or you're playing a game on a console and you're buying a digital game, that money is not going anywhere locally, so there's no growth in SA for that.
Oh, wow.
So that's a challenge we also face, where the move to digital has kind of cut retailers' profits down to the point where game stores are struggling to make ends meet because nobody's buying physical games because it's cheaper and easier just to buy it on the internet.
Sure.
The fact that Luigi and Mario are sitting right next to us, handsome chap, look at that moustache, my goodness. We have to talk about Nintendo,
Oh, yes,
the iconic Nintendo. Let's talk about Nintendo Switch. Why is this console, this whole approach so family friendly? Why is it working so well in South Africa?
I think the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo's always had this magic to release something that's like childish, but adults love it at the same time. I don't know how they do it because they've done it for years. I mean, you can have like your kid love a game and then you'll be like, oh, what's like the big point of this? And sit down and be like, okay, I love it. And I think that's the magic. And the Switch has been out for a while now. And like the library of games just captures all that magic. It's also just accessible. You know, parents can set up parental controls for their kids. So the kids, and it's all done on the app. So you can limit the playtime of like how many hours your child can play and what age restriction they can
Make
play.
it more healthy,
So I mean, and also parents, a lot of parents that don't know how to work the console, and trust me, people don't, can do it on their phone. So it's like a really cool feature that makes it easy for you to set up like parental stuff. But it's just like the library of games is like just magical. There's no other console that I own. I mean, I play everything and I own everything. But there's no other console that gets the family in front of the TV anymore. You know, everything is so online. So you're playing online on a console and you're inviting your friends online and you're playing multiplayer matches. But for like the magic of Switch is that everybody wants to be in front of the same TV, playing Mario Kart, playing Super Mario Party. And no other console does that. And Nintendo's done that for years, you know. And I think it's never going to change. And that's what makes it so magical.
You mentioned one or two titles there. If we speak about Nintendo Switch, which titles would you recommend for the holiday spirit?
Okay, so this year we had Super Mario Party Jamboree, which is like my favorite Switch game. It's like a board game where you have to earn, you play mini games and you roll the dice and you move to different spots, and then you play mini games to get coins to buy stars. But then you can screw your family over by stealing their stars, and the person at the end that's got the most stars wins. But it's so crazy how you will be like in the lead until like the last round, and then everybody's plans will come out and be like, I'm using that item to steal the star. I'm using that item to like screw you over, and you're going to lose that mini game, and we're going to duel for this. I mean, it's so competitive, but it's so much fun. Again, it's on the couch with your family, and you can like punch somebody in the arm if they steal your star. I do that. Don't worry, my brother's arm is quite sore when I play Super Mario Party Jamboree. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is also fantastic. I think it's at a point now where if you buy the booster pack course, it's got 48 additional tracks. It's like, I mean, it's all these tracks are themed around iconic Mario worlds and lands, and it's just so much fun. And their content, I mean, 48 tracks plus the launch content, that's a lot of tracks. And again, it's split screen racing. You don't get games like that where you can just like race each other on the same couch and zoom around and knock each other off the ledge, and it's super fun.
Now, there's a couple of very nice, obviously, deals and stuff this festive season. Do you know some of them?
So I know you can get the Switch Lite OLED. It's the white. I mean, the Nintendo Switch OLED, the white model, and you can get it with with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and 12-month Nintendo Switch Online subscription, which is super cool. That subscription comes with online features you can play online, but at the same time, it unlocks all the classic games, so you can like play NES games. I don't know if you ever grew up playing like old school, like Golden China, sort of like Super Mario 8-bit, like really old games. So all those are included in the subscription. But Nintendo 64 games, Game Boy Advance games, like all those classics. So that's like a value-added feature of that subscription. Then you can also buy any Switch console and buy 2 games and only pay 1,000 Rand for both of them, which is great for like new adopters and people who have the Switch already and maybe want to like add a second one, because I mean you can never have enough Switches. And then maybe get a game that you missed this year.
Thank you, Marco, for joining us and telling us about these nice options that we can take. Dis Marco Cocomelo, hy's 'n media-inhoudskepper, en dit is nogal interessant om te hoor. Daar's soveel nuance en interessante goedes in die gaming wêreld in Suid-Afrika en ook in Nintendo. As jy enigstens by Nintendo wil uitkom, ek dink daar's iets soos 9 winkels in die wêreld of 11, bitter min. Een van hulle is in Suid-Afrika, in Sandton. Maak gerus 'n draai daar in Sandton, in Johannesburg. Of jy kan aanlyn koop. En 'n aanlyn winkel is nogal redelik indrukwekkend. store.nintendo.co.za .co.za. Maak 'n draai daar en kyk 'n bietjie wat se speletjies jy kan